Okay, let's talk about robotics. This is becoming a big talk inside of the stock market. It's also a big narrative inside of the crypto market as well. And Elon Musk has just announced this.
What we're about to embark upon is not merely a new chapter of the future of Tesla, but a whole new book. And Optimus is a fundamental part of that. The scale of Optimus, like I said, that's really going to be something else. I think it's going to be the biggest product of all time by far. Like bigger than cell phones, bigger than anything. I guess a way to think about it is that every human on Earth is going to want to have their own personal R2D2 C3PO. I think there could be tens of billions of Optimus robots out there. We're going to launch on the fastest production ramp of any product, of any large complex manufactured product ever. And starting with building a 1 million unit production line in Fremont, and then a 10 million unit per year production line here on the
10 million. So let's get that straight. A million production line and then a 10 million production line. Now at this stage, I can't really doubt Elon Musk. The guy created rockets. No, or he didn't create rockets, but you get it. He created rockets that re-land and relaunch. He's going back and forth from Mars. Mars obviously is a planet that needs to be adopted by robots, so I kind of get it. His automated driving, automated vehicles are now becoming a thing. EVs have actually started to collapse actually as a market because every single person now can access the EV. China, as you've probably seen, I don't know if you've seen those Rolls-Royce level vehicles, which are, like $30,000, which everybody has. I'm in Thailand right now. Everybody has an EV. And he's obviously managed to build a successful company from Tesla. So this announcement is actually massive. Now, I know that most people will be looking at this, and they'll be saying, right, okay, I get it. Yeah, robots seems cool, right? And then all of a sudden we have this adoption curve. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this pattern. It's like this mass adoption chart and curve. And most of the time, in my opinion, we are right here. We're at this stage now where we're seeing technology release. We're seeing robotics. We're seeing these robots. They kind of don't really work. They're a bit buggy. There was a company recently which released their robot, and this is probably the reason why Tesla in this is actually shareholders meeting, decided to actually announce this because there was a company that pre-launched their robot, and I think they sold like $20 million worth, right? So we're at this stage, and this is kind of the stage where we've seen ChatGPT. I think if you guys remember when ChatGPT first came out, it was a little bit buggy. Not that many people used it, and then all of a sudden we have a mass adoption curve, and everybody uses ChatGPT, and they just ChatGPT everything more than Google nowadays, right? And this adoption curve, it only really took a few years, right? I think we was here in like what, 2022 or something like this. And now we're here and everybody uses it. So it took like 2-3 years realistically for this mass curve to happen. But the difference is with robotics this has been around for a long time. And currently this is going absolutely viral on Twitter. I mean, if you just go on Twitter, you type in Optimus, it's a massive narrative. And this person even says, it says, look, the scale of Optimus, like I said, is really going to be something else. Now, I think it's the biggest product of all time by far, bigger than cell phones, bigger than anything. And I guess the way to think about it is every person has a cell phone on Earth. Right? Realistically, if you look in, like one of my friends said to me, he said, well, what about like Africa? He says, well, bro, I go to Africa, they're not going to have robots there. And I said, well, if we type in Africa phones, everybody has a phone in Africa. Everybody has a phone. Everybody pretty much, has some type of smartphone. You can go into the most like craziest places on earth and you'll find some uncle that has an iPhone, right? You can actually see here that, iPhones are actually starting to take a small market share. Samsung actually have a decent market share. I genuinely believe that we are going through a parabolic adoption cycle, just like this, where in the next few years, we're going to be seeing mass adoption for it. And if we actually have a look at the stocks, right, this is one thing I actually like to have a look at. If we have a look at Nvidia, even though yes, Nvidia is having this kind of like blow off top formation, we can actually see that Nvidia itself, over the past few months, has been one of the most parabolic stocks out there. The stock market has outperformed crypto, for those of you guys that follow my channel for crypto, for the entire cycle. If we're talking about where we've been, you clear this chart up a little bit so it looks a little bit cleaner. For the past few years, this is 2022. I'll pull up a little price label for you guys as well. You'll actually see that, let's say from 2022, the Pico top, if you actually put a Pico top, Nvidia was at $34, right? Now we're sat at all-time high, is peaking at about $213. That's almost a 10x return. And your investment is about an 8x return in quite a couple years on a stock. If we're talking about the bottom of Nvidia, we're talking about down here at $10. That's actually literally a 20x to all-time high. The stock market has completely adopted AI, and they understand that artificial intelligence is going to be massive. And if we're talking about the artificial intelligence industry as a whole, we'll know that there's a few specific sectors, right? We're talking about AI sectors. There is obviously chips. There is computing power. So we're talking about like nuclear. We're talking AI defense. We also have obviously robotics, right? There are many, 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 many industries in here, which in my opinion, we are literally witnessing this aviation curve, the internet curve, right now in front of our eyes. And I think in 10 or 20 years, we'll look back at companies like Nvidia, companies like Intel, for example, okay, with the Intel chips. We'll look back at OG Palantir, right, as companies which were the investments of our generation, right? And I know personally, when I look at a lot of these stock investors, when I look at the market, I'm not personally a stock investor at the moment. I really, 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 really probably do need to transition. But I know it's very euphoric right now, right? But if we're talking about 10 or 20 years, bear in mind, Palantir from the bottom to where it is now, it only really started popping off in 2023. These companies are going to be, probably the internet level companies that we've seen, right? And personally, I genuinely do think that Elon's probably going to pull this off. You guys can let me know in the comments. On my last YouTube video, I got a bunch of good comments. People were saying they're enjoying these types of videos, enjoy these types of thought experiments. These are the types of things that, when I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee, go to the gym, come back from the spa. These are the types of things I think about, right? I'm not really bothered about like degenerate types of things. I have fun with them. But I look at these things. I look at AI. I look at robotics. Obviously, I love crypto, right, as a future of finance. We've basically seen Bitcoin go through this exact same curve, right? If we actually look at Bitcoin, originally, when BTC, if we're looking on, let's say, a monthly chart, for example, when BTC was down here in this curve, people were like, okay, I understand there's only so much supply for Bitcoin. I get it. It can possibly be the future of money. There were people who transacted on the network. They understood that there was 21 million coins, but they didn't really do much, right? Me personally, I was 12 years old, right, during this time, right, 2012, okay? Even during these stages, university, for some people that watch this channel, I'm thinking about completely different things, right? But there were people who at the exact same time where we were in robotics, and a lot of people will look back at Bitcoin and they'll say, well, if I was around during the time of 2012 and I was middle-aged or an investor, I would have invested in this film. You probably wouldn't have, right? Because you probably didn't invest in OpenAI, right? You probably didn't invest in Tesla. You probably did invest in Palantir, in Nvidia, right? Shout out you guys that did. You got the right head on your shoulders, right? But it's because of this adoption cycle and how they go. They go nothing and then all at once. Okay, literally the adoption cycle. And now, obviously, we have countries adopting Bitcoin. We have major financial institutions adopting Bitcoin. And now, just like the stock market, a 5 or 10% crash is absolute turmoil, right? Everybody's scared. You know, for those people that want my thoughts on Bitcoin, I still think we see 26,500 around this range. And I do think we continue for a blow off top in Q4. This entirely possible until it's not, right? So for me, how am I taking action on this? Obviously, I'm a degenerate. I'm a meme coin degenerate, as you guys probably see. I did decide to go and actually buy the meme coin version of Optimus, right? So for those of you guys that buy meme coins, you go ahead and check it out there. But more seriously, what I have decided to do is I'm going to start building a robotics portfolio, which I'm going to start investing into every single week, right? Because when I look at these types of investments, right, and I look at the stock market, I know that they're gonna be there's gonna be a lot of hype. You know, I know that the Nvidia CEO, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but it's absolutely insane. CEO drinking. I don't know if you guys seen this, but this guy literally sent the entire. This guy went to a chicken shop, right? Had a shot with the boys, okay? Ate some chicken, and he sent the Korean chicken market stocks through the roof just by going and saying chicken isn't I like it. It's probably not going to end well, right? Coming from the crypto market, if we seen Elon, for example, doing this type of stuff and becoming super famous, and everyone's degenerating on whatever Elon's coins are. If we seen basically any CEO doing this type of stuff, we'd be screaming top signal, but they don't have that. They don't have such things as top signal in the AI sector. But I do believe that even if we have a healthy correction, we come back down to let's say $100, $200. These are the areas which I'll probably be starting to accumulate these types of stocks because I want to give these types of stocks to my children, right? If I think, okay, what have we been through as a generation? Okay, we've been through. We have been through the railway, right? Okay, we went through the railroads. I listened to a audio book before, right? It's like one of these money audio books, and it was created during these times. And the guy said, right, and this was like almost 100 years ago. The book was made, and he goes, if you want to be successful, invest in railway and aviation, right? And most people at these times, railway and aviation was obviously a hard industry to invest into. It's got much, much easier right now, obviously, the stock market and stuff like that. Aviation, okay, we've been through aviation. Everybody has access to fly. It's got cheaper and cheaper. Everybody knows about a Jet2 holiday, okay? We've been through AI, right? Everybody uses ChatGPT, right? If we have a look, I wonder if it would tell me. I actually might ask ChatGPT to tell me how many people use ChatGPT on a daily basis, right? So as of March 2025, roughly 700 million weekly active users, right? Some say we have about 800 million weekly active users actively using ChatGPT. That these people are going to be using this more than Google, right? I personally use this more than Google. It's better, right? Google gives me some bullshit I have to filter through. ChatGPT gives you a straight answer. I think it's a big, big difference, right? And the growth of this sector is going to be the next wave because we've seen the growth of an iPhone, right? Let's say Let's see if it does this. Let's see if it actually maps it out. So in 2010, right, 60 million people used the iPhone. In 2011, 115 million people used the iPhone. 2012, 200 million. 2013, 300 million. Okay. And then when you got to 2018, we had 800 million. 2021 billion. Okay. 2023, 1.3 billion. And 2024, 1.4 billion. Right. So let's say, robotics, right? Let's speculate. Let's speculate. Okay. So if we're talking a curve, we're talking 10x growth, right? The average household, so 45% of the average global households will be using robotics, right? By 2035. I'll only be 35 years old, right? In some athletics worlds, you'll be talking about in your prime, right? This is kind of where I've got my headset right now. And this is kind of what I wanted to speak to you guys about the potential growth of robotics, AI, and the whole entire industry. If we're talking about, this list of things which are made, we're talking about, microchips, computing and nuclear power, AI, batteries, right? All of these different industries related to the AI sector, I genuinely think it's going to be absolutely massive. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to have a little rant. You guys said you guys enjoyed these types of rants and these types of thoughts experiments with the audience. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are, about this information. Because in my opinion, I can't not bet on Elon Musk. In fact, this is what Kathy Wood had to say.
Published, it's out there at 2600, hasn't changed in quite some time. 90% of that valuation is a function of robotaxis. We have very little for humanoid robots, and we're doing the research right now to understand how difficult it will be to scale humanoid robots. The problem, or the humanoid robot problem, complexity, is multiples of robotaxis. Now, we think Tesla is in the best position because it's already a robotics, energy storage, and AI company with robotaxis. So it's a good part of the way.
Robotaxis, got the fucking batteries, got the fucking I forgot about Starlink. The nigga's got Starlink. These shits, it's got Grok. The robot is going to be connected to a Starlink, right, with AI implanted into their head chip. Oh yeah, it's got microchips already in people's heads. So you're going to be able to telepathically speak to your robot, say, yo, get me a coffee. She's going to get you a coffee. You're going to say, yo, Grok, scan shit for all the best meme coins. Da, 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 da. You say, yo, Grok, by the way, I live on a farm, right? Go connect to the farm and go clean all the chickens out. Da, 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 bring me some eggs. The guy's going to be able to do all of it.
There, much further than most companies, I would say. And so we have very little in that 2600 for humanoid robots. To the extent humanoid robots evolve faster than we're expecting, then that price target goes up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't doubt her. Oh, here we go. Long-term real growth in US GDP per capita, right? This is your robotics curve. We're right here. This guy saying, if Optimus ramps its way, as Elon says, it will unlock more real GDP growth faster than any other technology literally ever. Yeah, pretty much, right? And there isn't another company that's going to be able to compete. There's no other company. Funny enough, here's it making some eggs. You got R2D2, right? I think everybody's pretty much on the same page. Let me know what your thoughts are about Elon Musk. Let me know what your thoughts are about robotics. How big can this industry get? Or are we being absolutely delusional? I appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in meme coins, trading crypto, check it out. I'm degenning on fucking Optimus and other meme coins as well in the trenches every single day. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys later on.